Okay, so this is going to be another one of those things where it's almost set up like a game where there are rules. But the neat thing about it is, as long as you stay within those rules, there exists the potential to create some really interesting and very authentic sounds. Each hand is going to have its own role. Let's talk about the left hand first. Let's quickly learn three shapes. We'll have a lower shape, which we could call a bass shape, and then we'll have two shapes up here, up higher, that we can call chord shapes. Okay, here's our bass shape. It's a D and an A, an open fifth, D and A. This is the second D from the bottom of the keyboard, D2, and then the A above that. All right. For our chord shapes, we're going to come into the next highest octave. So we were down here for our bass shape, and now I'm going to come into the next highest octave, and the first shape I'll show you is this right here, D, G, and C. That's our first chord shape. Okay? Notice, by the way, that where the bass shape was made of a perfect fifth, the chord shape is made of 2/4. We have a fourth, perfect fourth, between D and G, and then another perfect fourth between G and C. All of our chord shapes are going to be made of stacks of perfect fourths. Okay, the next chord shape is this right here, E, A, and D. There also we have our fourths, so there's a fourth between E and A, and a fourth between A and D. So there's our two shapes, D, G, C, and E, A, D. You can also think about how we're just kind of moving up to the next white notes, like that. Now, there are some more chord shapes possible, but I want to stop right here first, and let's just give ourselves a chance to get used to these three things here. What you're going to do is just go back and forth between the shapes in any way that you want. Now, I made a point to talk about, the bass shape versus the chord shape because it has to do with the way that they function here. The lower notes, that bass shape, it's going to have a sort of a bass function. It reminds me of someone, maybe beating a drum, ringing a bell or something. Then we'll come up higher and we'll have this chord effect. So you can use your own rhythms and do it your own way. Just spend a moment exploring it. I'll give you an example. And so on. Like I said, there are some more possible right-hand chord shapes, but before we go there, I want to go ahead and move on to the right hand and talk about its role. The right hand is going to improvise using any of these 5 notes: C, D, E, G, and A. Of course, you can move into different octaves. Those 5 notes, that is the C major pentatonic scale, C, D, E, G, A. All right, so let's put the hands together here and check out a couple of examples. For this first example, I want to play very slowly and freely and, not even think about tempo. I'm just going to sort of explore, different sounds. So my left hand is going to go back and forth between those 3 sounds, the one bass sound and then my 2 chord sounds. And then my right hand will improvise using C major pentatonic. Yeah. Now you can also play with a more steady pulse, something like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. Now, depending on your skills and your background, everything I've shown you so far could be quite a juggling act to put together. So there's no rush here. Give yourself time. Maybe spend some time with the left-hand part alone, until you really feel solid about that, and then gradually work the right hand in. Just give yourself time to get used to this. There's no rush, no pressure. Now, if you want, you can stop here, and there's really so much that you can do with what I've given you so far. But if you feel like you're ready for more in the left hand, let me show you 2 more chord shapes. So we have this one and this one already, D, G, C, and E, A, D. Now, I'm going to jump up here still doing perfect fourths, but this shape is going to be G, C, F. And so that'll be like our third chord shape. And then finally, I'll show you one more, this one right here, A, D, G. So we have two more chord shapes. And so now we have a total of 4 chord shapes. This, our first one, our second one, and then this third one, and a fourth one. Now we have lots of options in the left hand. You can, once again, explore, move around however you like. And so on. And when you're ready, you can put the right hand in, improvising again with the C major pentatonic scale. Here's an example. And so on. Hopefully you'll agree with me that this is a really useful and powerful setup that'll allow you to just really explore, develop your own creativity, and really absorb these sounds of modal jazz. Of course, there's still much more to modal jazz, but this is a great starting point.
Don't forget to download the PDF for this lesson.